Now I'll be going over a short synopsis of the inspector and what the different buttons do. We won't get into too much detail. So, in order to open an inspector, you need a dev tooltip. This is the Resonite Essentials dev tooltip. You can find it in the Resonite Essentials folder in your inventory under the Tools folder, and it's the first one. So go ahead, double click that, spawn it out. Now, in order to demonstrate the inspector, I'm just going to create a box. So, in order to do that, I use my dev tool, go into my context menu, and create new. That sort of green plus button, and you'll get this new dialog. I'm going to go into 3D models up there and double click the first one, which is box. That will spawn a box, and it will be globally 1 meter. Okay. Always. Because it is a cube. And you could do a lot of different things with this. For now, I am just going to select it with my secondary. You want to make sure that you select something first before you open the inspector, because otherwise you will open the inspector to the root of the entire world. So now that I have it selected, I use the button that says Open Inspector, and it will open this inspector on the box. If I want to deselect a gizmo, then I can use the context menu button that says Deselect All. See? Deselect All down here, it's sort of orange. Now, to be fair warning, when you do select Deselect All, it will deselect all the gizmos for the entire world. So if you're working in a world with other people, it will deselect their gizmos as well. So be careful with that. All right. So with these buttons on the top, I am going to start with these over here on the right. Now, if you want to duplicate the slot that you're on, you can press this button that has the two little sort of boxes stacked on top of each other. So if I select that one, you can see there are now 2 boxes. And I can tell if I'm grabbing the original box because the box slot right there will light up when I'm grabbing the original. Whereas if I grab the one down here, it doesn't do anything. So this one down here is the copy, and I don't really want it right now. I can just delete that. And now we're just left with this. So the next thing that we can do is we can create a child slot of this box. And if you're creating a child, that means that you're creating a slot right underneath the slot that you currently have selected. The button for that is the one right next to those 2 squares. And it will let you know that you've created one because the name will be box child. So the button that is next to that one is a very similar button, except it creates a parent. And creating a parent basically means that you are creating a slot that goes right above the slot that you have selected. So, and if I drop this down, you will see now that the box has a parent as well. We've just created a parent. And, by the way, this is what is called a hierarchy. If you're familiar with File Explorer or Unity or Blender, you will likely know what a hierarchy is. It is sort of folders within folders, items within folders. It drops down, that kind of stuff. You could collapse it, you know. So, say I didn't really want this slot anymore. There's a couple of options. One of them is a little recycle symbol right here, and the other one is the trash symbol. These do a similar thing, except the recycling one saves some of the assets in the world, even after you get rid of the slot. I don't usually have a use for that. I usually just hard delete it with the trash can, but that's a personal preference. So I'll click that, like so. And now we're back on the box for selected. So if I want to go up one slot in the hierarchy, then I can click this button. Of these two buttons, it is the one on the right. It goes up one in the hierarchy, like that. So we have gone up a slot from the parent of the box that we had made earlier. I drop it down, you can see the box is right there. Like that. So if I would like to go up even further, in fact, if I want to go up to the very root of everything going on, then I can actually click that other button of the two. It's one on the left. So if I click this, it goes up to the janitor system root, which is where my janitor system slot is, and that's where I can find everything that I've spawned. That is sort of an organization system that you can install in your world. And if I do it again, it goes up to the root of the world. And that is how you navigate your hierarchy. There is also, if I want to refocus on this box that is selected, because you can see, I have the box mesh, the mesh render, I have all the components open for the box. Like you can see up here, it says slot box. I still have the box selected, but I don't see it anywhere in my hierarchy. So how do I get back to it, right? And that is the last button up here, which is this one all the way on the right with the two arrows going in. I click that, it refocuses on the box slot in the hierarchy. And that should be it for the short inspector tutorial. If you're done with the inspector, you can hit this little X button. If you would like your inspector to move around with you, if you're moving your joysticks like this and you want it to stick to you, there's also the button right next to that, so now you can see it moves with me. Click it again, and that's it.